Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I'm your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal, and joining me through Discord, as always, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Code.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What's up, Chris, and everybody listening? Hopefully I ain't lagging.
You are not lagging. As far as I know. You are not lagging. Also joining us, it is Edgelord Big News Brian. What's up, nerds? Hey. We're back for another thrilling episode of New Jump City. Very excited to do this. We have a lot of manga to talk about. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole_37. That's on Instagram, and at New Jump City Josh. That's on X.
Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Hell yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. You could also reach us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. We will be here for it. We usually do a really pre-show chat show that we do. We didn't do it this week again, but we will next week. And we'll answer some questions. We actually got some this week. So very excited to get into those on our next show. Keep sending them in. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. That would be greatly appreciated. It makes me happy that people are still listening, even though we've been knocked out of video for a little while. But we will be back, hopefully very soon. Yeah, and with that being out of the way, let's get into the show. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1108, Come In World. Last we left off, everybody has been trying to get off this goddamn island. We have had some stunning developments in regards to the Blackbeard pirates, Van Ogre, and Katarina showing up and confronting Jay Garcia. Katarina managed to actually touch Jay Garcia, so the assumption is that she can transform into him, and by that extension probably has authority over some degree over the pacifistas herself. That's pretty crazy. And we ended last week's chapter with Karibo pulling up to Van Ogre and Katarina, begging to be in attendance with Blackbeard himself. This chapter starts off with Van Ogre immediately pointing his dramatic rifle directly at Karibo. And, you know, he's basically about to shoot him. And he's like, look, there are many people who threaten the Commodore's life, so we can't really trust you. So I guess I'm going to have to kill you here. But Karibo makes his case. It's like, please, if you kill me now, Master Teach is going to split your skulls. And he's like, and why is that? He's like, I got some very valuable information that you won't hear from anyone else. And this is where we realize what Karibo's little ace in the hole is that he, because he was on Wano, knows both Wano and Fishman Island. He knows that Poseidon is Shirahoshi and that Pluton is underneath Wano. So, yeesh. And the only people who know that are the Straw Hats. So, you know, he's like, please let me meet with Master Teach and I'll provide that information to him. I'm sure he'll be very pleased to hear it. And it seems that Van Ogre and Katarina are considering it. So I'm pretty certain they're going to bring him along. And we cut back to the events on Egghead itself. The pacifistas are still tearing shit up. And now the vice admirals are starting to jump into the fray themselves. Um, they're it's not looking good for them, so they're just like trying to jump in. We get to see a little bit of what they're capable of going in. There's a guy named Tosa. He just pulls up. He immediately catches up to Frankie and Bonnie, and his special team seems to be like he like really focuses his hockey and onto his fingers for finger pistols to like make them chew through any armor basically. And he's about to like go in and and hit Frankie, but then he gets smashed by Broggy's axe. Failure. It's not good. This admiral got one-shotted. And yeah, he's like, "Whoa, we brushed up on the new members bounty posters, but I don't see anyone here. Are you all researchers?" And he's like, "Oh, cool. I'm part of Luffy's crew. You got beef with him?" Because Frankie obviously doesn't know Broggy or Dory. They're like, "No, we're friends. We're warriors of Elbaf, and we've come to protect our friends." So that's pretty cool. Bonnie informs them that Sanji and Luffy and Vegapunk are still in the middle of the island, and she asks if they'll help him, and is like, "We're Dory and Broggy, of course, dog." They remember they recognize Vegapunk's name from the description of a scholar that mentioned Vegapunk's name. Obviously, it'll be Jaguar D. Saul. Very excited.
Oh, Saul.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it would have to be Saul, right? It could
You
probably
gotta
not be
tell
Saul.
me. I have questions about that.
It might be Saul because he managed to save all of O'Hara's research, and he's probably been reading up on it this whole time.
Wait, Saul was the one that froze to death?
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
What do you mean?
What a dumbass.
Who?
He
Saul?
was supposed Jaguar D. Saul. Yeah, like they had to set him up or something because he was a good guy, man.
What do you mean? Saul is a good guy.
Yeah, but he died, right? Like because
No,
he
he
frozen.
survived. He was like he helped Robin's mom escape. Like he broke her out
Oh,
of
it was
prison.
Oars that froze to death.
Yeah, Oars froze to death because he didn't have.
Never mind.
But no,
got-
Jaguar D. Saul
I
was
got that twisted.
Yeah, he was thought to be dead because Aokiji froze him. But he was like while he was trying to save Robin. But he survived that apparently. And
Oh,
currently lives on Albaf. As we learned
that's
recently.
dope.
So yeah.
And he's the flame one.
No, he has no powers.
He's the one. No, he's the one with the burn scars.
Might be. I don't know where he'd get burn scars though. I guess freezer burn.
Yes. You figured it out, Chris. We got it.
This is what we do here. We're probably gonna be wrong, and there's a separate entire entity who is the man with burn scars. But anyway, Dory and Broggy has asked their crew to bring Bonnie, Kuma, and Frankie over to their ship. So that's pretty sick. Meanwhile, we get to meet a bunch of other vice admirals, Urban and Pomsky. This woman, I remember her name. Her fruit had something to do with being able to just like ride things. She's probably doing this, with this thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
She rode like a blast, right? Or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
The ride. That's a crazy ability. Oda's grasping the ability to just ride anything.
Theoretically, that could be the most overpowered devil fruit in the game. I'm not gonna lie. Because she could probably like ride Luffy and end up controlling him, right?
Hey, pause. Well, I don't know if she controls them. I think she's just maybe. I don't know. I don't understand the parameters of the ride fruit. But anyway. she's on her way to the island, I suppose. She's going towards the giants, I guess. That's wild. That's pretty presumptuous there. Jay Garcia makes his way back onto the battlefield, and he looks mad scary. He's I guess devolved more into his beast form in his of his Zoan fruit. And Vegapunk is kind of like talking to them. He's basically asking them to leave them behind. Like, don't move him because the more they move him, the more he bleeds, and he's gonna bleed out. And Luffy's like, wait, we promised you we'd get you off this island. He's like, I know I asked for that, but I made up my mind. There's something here I must protect. And he was talking about how he was hoping not to tell Bonnie about her special authority until she was a little more grown up, because now they'll be after her life. So please keep her safe. And man, Sanji comments on Jay Garcia looking less and less human by the minute. He unleashes a barrage of poisoned spider legs attacks at Luffy and Sanji. Luffy tells Sanji to just get Vegapunk out of here and to ignore him if he shouts in pain. And Vegapunk, of course, shouts in pain. He's like, fuck, Sanji, please stop. And he's like, I know it hurts, but we got to get out of here. You're about to get hit with spider legs, dude. Unfortunately, Kizaru catches Sanji pretty nasty and finishes off Vegapunk with a sword through his belly, like a true Straw Hat would. And Luffy is like, Apple Man! Sanji picks him back up and starts running again. And as Kizaru is about to make his way towards Sanji, Luffy just turns into his giant form, grabs both Jay Garcia and Kizaru. He squeezes him a little bit because we see that Kizaru is just bleeding out now. And as Sanji is trying to get away, he's yelling at Vegapunk. He's like, please, Vegapunk, step out of it. You're not dead, are you? And Sanji notes that Vegapunk is currently smiling. There's this beeping noise in the background as well. And then all of a sudden, a pre-recorded audio starts playing, of course, by Vegapunk. And he introduces himself. He says, hello, come in world. I am Dr. Vegapunk, a humble genius scientist. While many of you will likely be shocked by what I have to say in this message, I assure you that it is the truth of the world. And that is where the chapter ends. Holy moly. Very exciting. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1108?
Oh, this was my really good chapter of the week.
Whoo! Yeah, honestly, same. Brian, was it yours?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Unified, really good chapter of the week.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Yeah, it's so adequate, those One Piece trumpets. So, yeah, whatever, Chris. He's not going to be a Straw Hat. It's fine. He may turn on
I gotta
the
remind you every
later
week
on.
because you guys fought me pretty hard on that.
That's fair. Okay. But speaking of future Straw Hats, well, one of them anyway, Caribou found a way to, teach some really important information. But I'd be surprised if he didn't already know that somehow. I mean, the people in Fishman Island generally know that Shirahoshi is Poseidon, right?
I don't know generally if
No,
they know.
They don't. No.
I think it's just like the royal family that knows.
Yeah, it's just the royal family that knows. It's not the general population.
So this is some key information.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah. I just want to remind y'all, Caribou is the wettest pirate.
He has the wettest hair.
Oh, yeah, but I also think that leads to him being also the wettest.
No, his name is Wet Hair Caribou. The rest of him is dry. He's got particularly dry skin.
That's not true.
For someone whose hair
That's not true.
That's not true? You don't think so?
That's not true. We've seen him use. He has his fruit is like Very moist. It makes him into a moist person.
It makes him into mud.
That's moist.
Hmm. You got me there.
Well, anyway, it's okay. It was kind of a throwback seeing one of the Kuma units using that bubble attack to defend. Because man, was that shit frustrating seeing them use it against the Straw Hats. That was just a frustrating time. What did I want to bring up? So it's just kind of crazy because like Elder, when he pulled up, walking up to the Straw Hats the way he did, it looked very spider-like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I already understood that it was a spider and not pushing back on that. But like, man, he looks fucking scary. And then like Sanji himself is like his eyes look bizarre, which means that like that kind of I guess that's something we're gonna see with like the other elders too, probably. Like this is probably their serious mode,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because they start out serious already.
Yeah, he didn't
Awakened.
hesitate. He came on the island, awakened.
Yeah, exactly. So this is his actual like, I'm here to annihilate anything that moves. But yo, for all the people bitching, look at Luffy in that 2-page spread at the end. He looked pretty serious there. He looked pretty upset.
Mm-hmm.
So that one panel when he had
see how he's
when he had
mushing
both
his
of them in his
face?
hands. Yeah, he's like,
He said, "Get out of here." Hand
yeah.
face.
And then, yeah, Luffy went back to smiling. But I feel like Oda did that to, have these people be happy. Look, he's mad. He's upset.
He's not even mad. He's
those-
just like
He's mad, bro. He's mad. He's upset. He's getting angry for that moment.
He's telling
No,
two of the
he's-
characters in the verse to sit down, little boys.
The people need it. Brian said it himself 2 times.
they're still mad. Well, I don't. There hasn't been any complaints this chapter about Luffy,
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
I bet. Everyone's like, "Oh, Luffy's ready to get serious now."
On that note,
Anyway.
I was reading Saboti like the beginning when they first fought Duval. And like there's a moment where Luffy nearly drowns himself because he wanted to ride the flying fish, and they eventually all land in the water. But he prioritized like playing with these fucking fish, than take the battle seriously. So, this is just par for the course for him.
Stay mad.
Stay mad, bro.
Stay mad.
And humble, of course.
Yes, of course.
Was that all your thoughts, Josh?
Yes.
This was my RGC because this moment alone is the induction to Luffy being a Yonko now. This moment is on par with the shit that Whitebeard would do or the shit that Kaido would do, right? He is a legitimate threat to everyone who's against him now. And it really shows in the moment of him grappling a fucking admiral and also grabbing a fucking Gorosei by his face. Like, dude, that is an insanely high feat that very, very, very few people can ever possibly do. So I'm here for it. I am here for this new Luffy. I think it's really I think it's also really odd that they're making a point to not show what happened with what's his name? What's his wet guy?
White hair caribou.
Yeah, Karibu. I think
He's a
it's
pretty
odd that
wet
they're making a
guy.
point to not show how that ends. So I still think that he's not going to end up on going with the Blackbeard Pirates, which would be funny. What were you saying, Josh?
Well, that he's the wettest character in the series, but they're probably gonna
They're probably gonna get the information out of him without him joining.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I don't know if he would give that information.
Well, Karabu's weak. He would if they tortured him a little
Yeah.
bit, they would probably get it out of him.
Right.
But you really
Or
think he
brought
would
a
like lay
towel.
out the cards like that? I
If
don't
they
think
were
so.
gonna torture him to death,
I don't know if they have the time to be doing shit like that, right?
I mean, nobody knows where they are, and they're not the focus anymore. The only person who knows they're even there is Jay Garcia, and he's more focused on the Straw Hats right now. So it's possible they could chill for a minute and torture him and shoot him up a little bit.
Anyway,
Oh, I wanted to mention something. I'm sorry, Brian, but
ahead.
you actually called something a few chapters ago.
Who, me?
Yeah. Remember
What
you
was it?
said one of the possibilities of the scientist dying. Like this could be the case, and then at the end of the chapter, he's making this broadcast to the world.
Oh yeah, I think you did
you
call that,
mentioned
Brian.
that.
Oh, I did call
Yeah.
it because they mentioned that at the very beginning.
It was a
of
few
the arc.
chapters
I'm like,
ago.
this is gonna come back at some point for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Good job, Brian.
Woohoo!
You called it.
At this point, you guys are gonna have to call me the Oracle.
Well, all right, Brian. You said
Can we
No,
get
I'm
a
pretty sure-
drop for Brian
Pretty
being
sure
right?
Kizaru is not gonna join the crew.
Brian, what drop would you like for it? I don't
For
know.
what?
I don't know for you being right. I don't have like a you're right drop, but
I don't know. I don't remember all the drops.
Fi meg pick ned i det kjære med som jeg kan chat.
so that one you
Yeah,
get that one.
Wait, no. Can it be the one from the lawyer? He's like, "Kra, kra,
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Grr, Bow, bow, bow.
yeah, there you go. I'll take that one.
That's the Brian. That's the Brian's right one.
Grr, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that one.
Nice.
I forgot there was one more thing I was going to talk about, but oh yeah, there's a lot of circulation going around that Bonnie is going to be the one that joins the Straw Hats now for sure because she's kind of like Luffy's apprentice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Definitely.
And
I mean, I don't
feel
know
like
where
it-
else she would go. You know?
Yeah, I feel like it would be weird for her to go somewhere else, especially because Nika is such a prominent part of her life.
Yeah.
So she kind of has to be around Luffy at this point.
Yeah. Whatever happened to her?
She will not play the Vivi role.
No, no, she can't play the Vivi role. Only
They will
Vivi
not
can play the
Vivi
role.
fire.
What?
They cannot Vivify her.
No, I think she'll not be
She's-
Vivi specifically.
If anything, she's going to be Luffyified.
Well, now that she's seen a little bit of what Nika can do, she could probably replicate the powers to some degree using her
Yeah,
fruit.
she's gonna be baby Luffy.
Like her Nika like future will probably be a little more accurate.
I'm liking how that's sounding. More than a little bit.
Yeah,
She is
because she
baby
can
Luffy.
she can replicate futures as long as she can like imagine what's possible for her. She can turn herself into a possibility in the future where she is that thing, or it's kind of like alternate universe type stuff. If domino effect, butterfly, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah. Shout out to Everything Everywhere at Once. It's on Netflix now, and I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yes, it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
I haven't watched it yet.
So good.
You said it's on Netflix?
Yeah, just got there.
Oh shit. I might watch it then.
Everyone should watch it. It's very good.
Anyway, those are my
Would you
thoughts.
call
on
it a
One Piece.
CM?
What's that?
A cinematic masterpiece?
I would say so.
Mm.
Especially how there's no
Messed
like
up.
there's a lot of like effects in it that are done like pretty practically, and they find ways around it, because I think they had like a relatively low budget for what the movie actually like turned out being, and they worked their
Yeah.
way around it to make something really cool.
You just activated Josh's trap card, by the way.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said it was a cinematic masterpiece, but
Well,
Next up-
actually, I
next
have an interesting follow up, a non sarcastic one, or maybe it can be depending on how you look at it. But did you know that technically speaking, Jurassic Park is considered a cinematic masterpiece?
yeah, I think so. I think. Oh, well,
The original.
you know what?
one.
I've never seen the original Jurassic Park, but people really like it. It's like it's a classic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Only thing it didn't have in it was Star Lord.
That's true. That's what it was missing. But he was like probably a child at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were those all your thoughts, Brian? By the way.
Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Oh yeah, so good. By the way, I love this chapter a lot. I guess Dory and Bragi are also going to pull up to the fight. That's another thing. At some point, Dory and Bragi are going to show up, and that's going to be a problem too. Because
We're gonna squash the bug.
yeah, I don't know if you remember this, Josh, but actually, Big Mom uses one of their attacks. Like,
Oh, really?
one of her most powerful attacks actually comes from the giants.
Hokoku
Which move is
sovereignty.
that?
The Hokoku sovereignty.
Oh, the sovereignty.
Mm-hmm. That's them.
Yeah, it's a huge slash, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's what they use to like kill the island fish at the end of Little Garden too.
Yeah. Pretty sick. Very excited. For that.
Island fish?
Yeah, right. I don't know if you remember this, but at the end of Little Garden, as they were leaving, there was a giant island-sized fish that Usopp inadvertently told the truth about. It's actually one of Usopp's like tall tales he would tell to Kaya that actually turned out to be real. There's a giant goldfish that even its poops are island size.
Oh, come on.
And as the Straw Hats were about to be devoured, the giants used the Hogoku sovereignty to like destroy it completely.
You think it died?
It did die. It was a
Yeah,
huge hole in its stomach.
It died
Oh, shit.
instantly.
It was a massive, perfect
Oh.
circle in his stomach.
Bro, the Giants could probably fight Sea Beast, man.
They probably could.
I mean, Little Garden, they literally fought two sea beasts. That's what the
Like,
Giants.
I don't
goal
think
were.
they could go to the Calm Belt and start and what is it? The red line? No,
No, it's the Calm
Calm
Belt.
Belt is where they're at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they can't. Yeah, they can't go. I'm sure they couldn't pull up to the Calm Belt and plant a flag nowhere. But
Yeah.
I'm sure if a handful of them pulled up, they could.
I mean,
fight
you don't know
them.
that.
Well,
Bro, I don't know the Calm Belt, bro.
No, you
Isn't
don't know
it
that
like
they can't
thousands
survive
of them?
yeah. The Calm Belt is specifically, no one fucks with it
it, except
except for the
ancient
Navy
giants.
because they cheat.
I think
They
Shanks
could
also
get
cheats,
over it.
Not gonna lie.
They have Seam Prism Stone embedded in their ships. And only the Navy seems to have like full access to Sea Prism Stone.
I'm
so-
pretty sure Shanks has it. I'm not gonna lie.
That's bullshit.
What do you
Shanks
mean?
and the Revolutionaries. Shanks travels the
Yeah.
world really fucking fast.
That's a fact.
I don't think so. I don't think
Good point.
Shanks has left the Grand Line since he left Luffy.
But I feel like
He's on
it
our
would make
path.
sense for him to be able to get anywhere he wants. And in order to do that, you kind of need Sea Prism, right?
No, I mean, the Straw Hats don't have it. They could get pretty much anywhere as long as it's not the Calm Belt.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And so Shanks gets from the New World to Marineford, back to the New World, and then back to Mary Joa,
Well,
like within weeks.
the New World is technically not very far from Marineford. It's like kind of one of the last islands before the Red Line.
Mayhaps. But I still think it's still pretty fast compared to most
It's pretty
people.
fast. But to be fair, like everybody travels pretty fast in One Piece. These voyages, in theory, should take weeks, but they're
Yeah, and Shanks did that while also fighting Kaido too. So,
that's true.
and he still got there that fast. Like, come on now.
That's true. I don't know.
He's got to have sea prism in his ship, especially if he.
Yeah, but that
it
doesn't make
seems
you
like
go faster. It just like allows you to kind of, and you
it
have to have
allows
it
you to get
embedded
a
in your
shortcut.
ship.
It allows you to have a shortcut that nobody else really has, right?
Not really. I mean, it's a straight line, the Grand Line. So like the calm belt, even if you use the calm belt, it's just like you're going around, but you still have to come back into the Grand Line. You still have to go under the red line to get there.
How
In a
do the
new world,
Marines
right?
move if the calm belt has no wind?
They probably row. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess
It has no wind.
Yeah, that's why they
Why?
call it the calm belt. Is because it's like
I thought it was called the calm belt because no one fucking goes there.
no, it's called the calm belt because there's no like real climate that goes between those areas, but the Neptunians live there for the most part.
That sounds so fucking terrifying.
Bro, Shirahoshi is basically Aaron. She can do the rumbling whenever she wants with these Neptunians.
Jesus, man.
She could do the water rumbling.
Yeah.
That's her ability.
Tatakai. Tatakai.
uh anyway, this chapter was sick. I fucking loved it. Also, I love this 2-page spread. The shading on Luffy is like really I love that like hatch shading. For whatever reason, it gives like another dimension of like shape there. Oda's a really good artist when like he puts his back into it. It's really fucking good.
It's
Jake-
so nice seeing Luffy here
Hmm?
at this point in his career.
Hmm?
It's so nice seeing Luffy here at this point of his career. He really made it.
Yeah.
Our boy is an actual Yonko now.
Yeah.
He went from like scoring, like being like a 35 points per game scorer to having now a nice balanced game. He's scoring 30, 10, and he's getting triple doubles out this bitch, man.
Mm-hmm. He's about to like
And nigga, my nigga
2v1.
gets boards and rebounds.
He's about to
Makes
2v1.
his
He's playing
teammates go
like
down.
2-on-1 basketball here
Yeah.
against
He drew on
pros.
2 defenders so that his mans could get the open lane and bounce and skedaddle. Come on, man. Luffy's providing for his team.
For real. This is what a captain
This
does.
is like fucking Hokage Naruto status right
Oh
here.
my
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
You
He
know,
runs shit.
I think you're right.
Luffy runs shit now.
Yeah, it does have like that reminiscent like vibe.
Yeah, bro. And it's all earned. Naruto earned that, and Luffy earned this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Very
don't.
excited.
I mean, maybe he didn't earn it. Maybe he's a child of destiny, much to Christian's chagrin.
I don't think he's a
but-
child of destiny.
We won't have that debate right now, especially since I have no horse in either side.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, I
So-
guess, but I don't know how
so-
much.
Did Naruto have a moment where like this where you're like, oh shit, this guy really is the Hokage now? Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
yeah,
Pain.
yeah.
What was
When he
fight versus
pulled
Pain.
up, against Pain. But then he came up with the toads, and he shysted the first 3 Pains, easy money.
Yeah. When
He cut
when he
2
won
in
that
half
fight,
and then punched the other one in its fucking face.
when he
I
won
was
that
like,
fight,
oh wow,
everyone in the village was like, "Yeah, that's our Hokage."
yeah.
We could make him
You let
Hokage
Kakashi
yesterday.
have that.
Yeah. He said, "I'm not ready yet. I want to get my degree. I want to go back to school and get my degree. You take the Hokage for now."
Bro, Tsunade died in the war?
No, she lived. She's alive.
Oh, okay.
She just retired. There's 2 active. There's like 2 retired Hokages in Konoha right now.
Wait, who else is? Oh yeah, Kakashi and Tsunade,
Kakashi and Tsunade are there.
which is very rare for Hokages, I gotta say.
It's rare for Kages in general. Usually these people fucking die. I think Kakashi got to retire in his 40s.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. For a ninja, for like a soldier, like a general.
Yeah. They usually do that shit till they die.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is a really cool moment. I won't say that it mirrors the Naruto moment with Pain exactly. I think that's maybe too much. The Naruto Pain moment was like so crazy good and so like dramatic in a sense, but this is up there. This is close.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to compare it directly. I just was making a statement that Luffy is just. You don't have to guess anymore. You don't have to maybe wonder or have debates about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is him, and he will solo your favorite character. He is in that conversation.
Now we're waiting for Buggy's Yonko moment.
Bro, it's gonna be so fucking lit.
And it's gonna
He's gonna
happen by
split
accident.
his hand into different pieces and smack the shit out of somebody. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Each finger is gonna slap somebody new.
Yeah, that's what I meant to. That's what I was trying to say. He's gonna smack an entire pirate crew.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 10 fingers,
Niggas
10
ain't
straw
even gonna
hats.
fight.
Thoughts?
Yo, Bucky needs to.
Hello. What?
You gave me something to think about. I do
One
like
finger for
Buggy,
each
and that
straw
is
hat.
the one requirement I need.
What is for him to slap every straw hat?
No, for
To
him to
hate.
join the crew.
He's not going to join the straw hats.
Okay.
He's always been doing his own thing.
Nah.
Thank God Carrot didn't.
Oh, you didn't like Carrot?
No.
Damn.
You like vanilla ice cream? I like vanilla ice cream, actually.
Carrot was
actually do
cool.
like vanilla ice cream.
Carrot had a whole second form.
But she had
That's
no
too
backstory.
Pedro was her
backstory-
backstory.
Yeah, Pedro was her sad backstory.
No. That was Pedro's story.
Yeah, and it just happened to also be Carrot's story too.
It didn't intersect.
It did. She watched him die.
You guys are making things up to cope. Maybe you
That's
guys
just
are
a
better than
cope.
this, quite frankly.
That is just a cope.
That is just
by
a
people with
cope by
agendas.
people with agendas.
Fair enough,
Yes,
Josh.
the carrot agenda has died.
You're right. You know.
Sulong, more like so long.
I right,
I like these.
Am I right, fellas?
All right. We should probably move on to the next one. But this was fucking cool. Very excited for what's coming next. I'm so glad One Piece is not on break this week. We actually get to see it again. Maybe we'll get some lore drops.
Tonight, I'm going on my knees and praying to God for a One Piece lore drop.
Please. Please, Oda.
And for there to be a ceasefire in Palestine.
I feel like he's just going to talk
That too.
about Buster Calls and what happened to O'Hara.
Man. Well, he's been
Israel
researching
stop
it.
its Buster call. All right, let me stop.
No. He was researching the Void Century, so he has to give something about it. He has to drop some
Maybe.
knowledge.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
it
he's
might
going to
be.
say anything about the Void Century. Just straight up, hey, this is what they're doing right now.
I feel like he'll probably bring up that it exists, but I feel like it would be weird for us all to find out what happened in the Void Century through Vegapunk. Does that make sense?
I feel like he has like bits and pieces.
I don't think that's what Chris is saying.
He doesn't have like
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think
story.
He's going to say something. That
But why would the
ancient
rest of the
giant
world care
armor
about
set
that?
has something to do with the Void Century, right?
I feel like the rest of the world would only really care about the world government nuking islands.
Well, that would be one issue among many. It's like, hey, they're nuking me right now, and also they've been lying to you about 100-year gap in your history.
Hey, they're nuking me right now.
They're nuking me right now because they found out I found out they're a bunch of fucking liars.
You know what they should do? What Vegapunk should do? He should have many men playing while he's telling them about what's
It's
going
just
on.
background music while he's doing it.
Many
Like,
men
Mm.
wish death upon me.
5 men, 5 whole men.
Yeah, I don't cry
They
no
overstep
more.
on him.
What are you saying, Josh?
Said five deadly men and one royal asshole.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Blackbeard is Emu's son. I said it. That's that.
No, serious. I think it's rocks. But I
I
am
think
open
It's
to
Rock.
I am open to a nobility tie there.
I think it's Big News Morgan's.
Oh, you think he's Big News Morgan's son?
Yeah. It ain't me.
I'll write that
I
down.
ain't Big News Morgan's son.
Morgan's D Teach is his real name.
Hey, some would say that doing the news is another way of teaching, right? So.
なんというビッグニュース
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is Commodore another word for captain?
Yeah.
It's like more of a commander of a fleet.
Yeah.
That's why Orlumbus is known as a commodore.
Yeah, he's
Known as
a
a lot
big
of
boy
things.
captain. He's a captain among captains. Because like all of Blackbeard's main crews, main crew members are captains of their own ship.
Yeah.
So he would be a
pretty sick.
commodore of this entire fleet.
Oh, Commodore.
Oh, commodore. All right.
Oh, Commodore.
You guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
sir.
let's go. My Hero
That
Academia.
noise.
What?
What was that soundboard noise?
That's Rage Against the Machine, Brian.
Is that a new one? I feel like I never.
No,
hear
I've
that
had it
one.
before. I have a shorter version that I play sometimes when things are super edge.
Oh, there you go. Now I hear
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
It's the Kowita now.
Yeah. Anyway, this is My Hero Academia, chapter 475, Rejection. Oh, 75. I read that wrong. 415. Whew. It's not making it to 475, this series. All right, last we left off, Midoriya has been trying to fire portions of One for All into Shigaraki in hopes of breaking his psyche enough that Midoriya will be able to reach Shigaraki's actual personality, his stunted child personality. Yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of that progress. And that's every time he pumps a piece of One for All into him, their memories begin to meld because I guess, the transfer of All for One links Midoriya to Shigaraki a little more, and they're able to share their memories a little bit. So, Midoriya goes in for a second shot. This time, he actually goes for all of them, and tries to like shoot all of them into Shigaraki. He lands a pretty heavy blow, but only manages to get another one through, and that would be the sixth quirk, which is N, the smokescreen guy. So he no longer has
Most
gear.
important one.
Yeah, smokescreen. I think Banjos is most important one. That's for certain. But he
Well,
manages.
from that being ironic, then yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he takes a shot there, and we see a memory of Shigaraki as a kid being guided by One for All for One. And he's like, whatever, I'm gonna try again. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. It's progress, dog. And we
The
get
smile on his face, the grin.
this. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we do get this dope full splash page here of Midoriya going up against a giant hand thing of Shigaraki, his big weird finger shield. As we see like in the distance, this little like camera thing is watching. We get what's her face? Damn, I keep forgetting her name, and she's like been around a lot. Whatever.
Go on,
Support
Brian.
girl. Brian, do you remember her name? I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now.
The engineer.
Yeah, the support lady.
Yep.
I've looked up her name before, but hold on,
Yeah,
I'll
we
look
all
into it.
have. She has one of the dopest character designs.
I like
too.
her too. She's a great character. I don't know why I'm forgetting
Yeah.
her right now.
Bum, 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 bum. I'll look into it. You
Rascal.
guys just keep going.
Anyway, so she's like talking about how she has a super duper long range remote control.
Oh, Hatsume.
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 I won't forget you
I had
again. Hatsume.
I had a feeling it was Hatsume, but I was.
I know it started with an H. I just couldn't bring it to me. So I guess she's watching from a distance with this camcorder. She's talking about how the remote control, the super duper long range remote control, is made possible thanks to the satellite. I think she's talking about the UA booster thing. It's kind of confusing what she's talking about, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Hatsume talks about how like that particular baby informed Midoriya that the gauntlets were finished. So I don't know what she means by that really. They're helping the UA headquarters to get safely down to shore without crashing completely. Hatsume says that hey, he's a valued client of mine, so I want to provide excellent service in days to come. I better observe him in action. Okay, so she's trying to watch him so she can improve his gear in the future. The love girl is like, that's the same boy who got my beloved thrown in the slammer, which only helped my sweetheart to be even more amazingly wonderfully stupendous. So, everything's great. Meanwhile, in the evacuation shelter, we end the chapter. Actually, this is a very short chapter, 12 pages, with Aerie seeming to run away as Ectoplasms is like, wait, not so fast, Aerie. And I guess she's on her way to the battlefield. That's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think
Damn.
about My Hero Academia chapter 415?
So I could tell I'm like enjoying these chapters because when they brought up these camera people again, I was only mildly annoyed. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. Everyone plays their role. They're important, sure. It's but like I really I don't know. Like this is a short chapter, but I like how he like Midoriya is getting like his confidence and swagger back in this fight. Even though the plan didn't fully work out, he knew he got through, and he's like, man, I gotta just keep figuring out a way to get through this hand monstrosity in front of me, and I like that. Seeing the memories are kind of weird. I'm not sure what it adds to this experience and this fight. I was curious to see what you guys thought about that, but those are my thoughts. I don't have that much to say. Iri, I almost forgot she was there, and man, she can change a lot of things in this fight.
Oh my goodness.
So, Brian, what were your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. So, as per usual, the art was fantastic. I just wonder what Deku is going to be like after this fight, because it looks like he's like losing all his quirks and shit. So maybe he'll just be a purely support item hero, like All Might was at the end of his run, which is interesting. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about Aerie doing something here. Like, she is literally a child. I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know how she will possibly be able to get to where Deku is. So maybe that's out of the question. I just find myself wondering, what are they planning with her here? Because I really hope she's not going to just show up and turn Shigaraki into a kid again, right?
No, I don't think that would be the thing. I think that would be too crazy.
It would be, it'd be funny if the series ends with Deku and Shigaraki being turned into kids and growing up together.
That would
again.
be pretty not good.
But accurate, maybe.
I mean, I hope not. I hope you're wrong, Brian.
If I'm right, though,
Let's be friends, Shigaraki.
Let's turn
Whatever
into
the fuck his
children
name
and
was.
grow up together and be friends. I hope not.
but damn, this art is fucking amazing, man. Oh, Horikoshi has a bright future ahead of him if he just like draws for people.
I mean, I don't know how you could get any brighter. This guy's like massively successful.
Nice.
He could get even better. Like that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Like people like Murata, like yeah, they were fucking phenomenal when they were like doing their own shit or like when they're doing Eye Shield and stuff like that. But his art has only gotten better since, like marginally better. So I feel like Horikoshi has a lot of options ahead of him once this series ends. When it comes just because of that alone.
Hmm.
But aside from that, I actually don't have much to say about this chapter. Amazing art, weird ending to the chapter. But overall, it's all right. It's an all right chapter. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. It's oh, sorry, Josh.
Hold on. Page, no, my bad. Page 4, the bottom right panel, with Midori is like landing the punch on Shigaraki. That is such a sick fucking panel.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
the impact on that one.
it's so good the way it's being drawn right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I already know how I feel about it. It's all great. That one Nomu here on page 3,
Yeah.
the perspective on this is balls to the wall crazy. I
But a Nomu pulled up out of nowhere.
yeah. He just pulled up there. But so good. I'm trying to remember a thought I had about it. I think the memories are like they serve two purposes. They're like kind of a progress thing that like one feeds into the other. They're all for one and one for all are getting more melded together, and as such, the memories of the two current users are like also like melding, and that's like that's what it's doing, and it serves the purpose to just basically explain that like the more intimate the memories are of Shigaraki, like this one where he's being guided away by one for all for one, is the more it's actually working and the more they're actually getting through to him. And I think that's what the memories. It's a cool visual way of showing that that's the case.
Yeah, Horikoshi has always been good with visual metaphors.
But yeah, I think that's the vibe he's going for here. But yeah, this was a really short chapter. I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's hard to like glean a lot of story, especially since he has like a page of just Hatsume and the love girl just talking about how much they like Deku and how much they had an impact on him and all that stuff. So I'm wondering what this business kid saw on his phone. He was like, "Huh? What on earth?" He said he's seen something.
Maybe he saw UA being saved.
I mean, he's on UA. He's one of the kids there. So I'm wondering what he saw.
I don't know. He's a super important character, though. So
Definitely.
you
I mean,
gotta trust his reaction.
that's not even a debate. He's very important. And I know that because I don't know his name.
None of us here had ever had a problem with this kid.
No.
Right, guys? Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, those are really all my thoughts. Do we have any rebuttals or anything?
Nopers.
All right. With that being said, let's move onward.
The Nomu should have been real.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go. Oh, sorry. Undead Unluck. And with that, I'm going to throw this all over to Josh.
All right, Undead Unluck, chapter number 196. Yoshifumi Tosuka. Get Set is the name of the chapter. Last week, they were getting it popping with the ultimate rule called Beast. He found a way to steal Undead's ability. I mean, not Undead, Unbreakable's ability. So he had it for himself. But Top also has some of Unbreakable's armor, and he initiated a fight with him. So that's where we're at. Top headbutts him, and he's like, damn, like what's the reason behind this? Like, oh, actually, no. There's actually a really interesting question that's like proposed over this chapter, which is why did the negation abilities choose us, meaning those negators, right? And apparently, regardless of how much the world changes with each loop, they always manifest in the same people. And this is Foucault pondering this, like, what is the reason behind that? As Top continues to fight Beast, they're actually over the water, which is pretty fucking sick. They're both moving fast enough to do that. Unbreakable makes a point and says that my power can only be attained after like years of training. Even if he did steal it, it's unlikely he could master it right away. And that's interesting because they show a little flashback with Billy, and even though he copied Unbreakable, he couldn't replicate it because he had to actually be good enough to, I guess, build it and harness it. Like, I guess it doesn't just make anything you touch unbreakable. And now that I think about it, she doesn't, the previous Unbreakable users didn't just like touch stuff and make anything unbreakable. They had to craft it themselves. So Billy couldn't do it. So it's really weird that Beast can. So the fight continues. Like I said, they're fighting over the water. And even Top is thinking like saying to Beast, like, how did you like get so good with this ability that you just borrowed? And Beast summons I guess like a octopus to, oh, he actually he grabs one out the water and has like the tentacles catch on to Top and tosses him like across the water, like out of the armor actually, and he's like skipping on the water like a stone. It's really rough. And then what's even worse is that he actually can't swim, or at least he can't tread water well at all. And Beast is just sitting there on top of the water, like, wow, bro, come on. 70% of your planet's water. Like, this is this is the best you can do. He's really shitting on the kid. And he's like drowning. So he's like, you know what? I don't even want to fight you no more. I'm gonna just have the boys pull up. So he summons some sharks. And while Top got tossed and skipped on the water, he had broken his I think his arm. Maybe that's part of the reason he couldn't tread water. But he couldn't use his unstoppable either because he met the condition to stop it breaking a bone. Pretty crazy. So right when this like huge shark was about to eat Top, it just stops and Beast is like, oh, so it's you, Unluck. And Unluck, I mean, Foucault makes the revelation about how at least how Beast uses his powers, and that he's using soul chains to connect to the different animals and make them serve him. And the same like soul powers that Andy was using in the previous loop, and also in this loop to fight against the Master Rules, if y'all remember. But Fugo saying that Andy taught her that people live via their souls and beasts are no different, and that beast ingests the soul of whatever he eats to gain the memories and experience. Because he ended up eating a piece of Haruka earlier when and that's how he also gained the experience to use Unbreakable, which is, I guess, yeah, checks out. Okay. And the cool thing is that Fuko is like she was able to stop the sharks by also like using like the soul power and making those soul chains through Julia's saber, which she's using now. I'm wondering why she had to use the sword to do that, but maybe we'll talk about that later. Fugo says that everything began when souls were placed, and that was the world's first rule, which was soul, and everything that was born afterward uses soul like for its own ability. So Beast is like, man, so what? How's that gonna help you deal with this? And a big fucking, I guess, a whale comes to eat them, and everyone thinks they're gonna die, and Fuko just points a finger like a gun. She points a she makes a gun with her finger and aims at the whale, and then out of nowhere we cut to like this dreamscape where Fuko's surrounded by a few people that I've never seen before, and they're like, "Yep, that's right, that will do." And they're saying, "Thank you for living all this time. We are so glad that we picked you." After that, yeah, right. Uko launches something like a soul shot almost. That's what it kind of looks like, and hits the whale. And Julia makes her mind. She's like, "Oh, this light! It's like that shooting star that she's seen in the sky. I guess during when she was introduced." And then I believe the same people that was talking to Fuko in that dreamscape also say, "Don't worry, it's coming. You're unlocked." And a fucking falls down from the sky and strikes the whale. I guess taking it out. So and not becoming a threat anymore. And Beast looks at Fugo and is like, "You've caught on to them." And the chapter ends.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, what a chapter. Chris, what were your thoughts?
I don't even know what to make of that last 2 pages. Man, first of all, the whole chapter was really cool. Art wise, everything. The soul thing, I'm not like entirely certain either why the saber plays a particular role or how she's able to see them in the first place, like the soul change. So I guess I was a little confused at that point. She's cutting these things, right? The chains, and that's why they stop.
Maybe.
I think that's why, because like
That makes sense.
she cut the soul chains, which is strange, but okay, fine with me. She's using the saber because I guess it cuts, so I guess she's imbuing her soul into it somehow. This is hard to say.
Right.
I only have like a couple ideas as to who these people are. I thought that they could either be just like previous incarnations of Unluck, or just like the rules, the master rules, are hidden within the sun. I would imagine in the moon, there's probably like really strong negators. And she's channeling them in a sense. But those are the only kind of things I can figure. I don't really know.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say I definitely lean. I'm kind of just giving my thoughts also, so we might as well blend it together. I was definitely leaning towards the former, which is that those were probably the previous users of Unluck, which is really interesting in of itself because she was just making a point of how all the previous unluck users are the same. So why would there be different people for unluck? Maybe it's something maybe it's just that unique and that special.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, technically,
It is unluck.
some of these folks are reincarnations of the previous negators. Like Julia is not Juiz. Like she's like a different person, but she has the negation. So it's probably possible in other loops someone else had unluck. Or other people had unluck in these previous loops, and Fuko is just the newest one. But I don't know. It's hard to theorize right now. That seems to be the obvious one, is that these are just other versions of unluck. But it just came to mind is that like it could very well be also that like there are people in the moon. And I feel like this guy's tattoo in the back here, it looks like a biohazard tattoo. I don't know if you would like attribute that to unluck, but man, I have no idea. It's hard to really tell, but they are most of them are doing, or some of them are doing like the finger gun thing themselves. So they could just be unluck users. Yeah, it's hard to say. I have no idea.
Yeah, they all have that gun. That like a lot. I mean, a few of them. The two kids are pointing their gun. And
she shot a piece of her soul, is what I'm guessing. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot of like uncertainty here, and I guess that's on purpose because he's like Tozuka's trying to keep some semblance of surprise and twist as to what these folks are. So I guess we'll figure out next chapter who they are. But overall, I thought this chapter was really cool. Very interesting lore wise. Excited to get into it next week. Josh, do you have any other thoughts?
Nah, man. That's said everything I needed to say.
Oh, hell yeah. Alrighty then. Well, with that being said, that was Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Wowee. Thank you guys so much for listening. You could catch me at the Chris Aspinall, at New Gem City Josh on Instagram, on X, at JDCole_37 on Instagram. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow the show itself at New Gem City on Instagram and Twitter. And email us at newgemcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. And we'll talk about it on our pre-show chat show that we do next week. You could subscribe to us, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're all up in there. Next week, we'll be introducing our new series. We're still catching up to it. Very excited to get into it. So stay tuned. We're doing it. We're doing it for sure. But yeah, without further ado, thank you guys so much for listening. Stay safe, New Gem citizens. Bye.
Peace.